Jai Shri Mataji to all my brothers and sisters in India and overseas. I'm very happy to come back with this little session today of question and answers. After a long gap, I'm coming in front of you to explain a few things, some new developments that have been happening in this creative world, especially created by for you through the world of cinema. And there'll be some questions put on to me, which have been coming to me, and they have been framed so that I could answer them for you, and you could get some clear answers to what is going on with the activity of Immaculate Ideal Human Foundation, filmmaking, and all the artists of the world wanting to spread Sahaj Yoga through this beautiful medium of cinema. So I will request our dear host, Aparna, to please put forth the issue, the questions, and I will be very happy to answer. Over to you, Aparna.
Jai Shri Mataji, Sanjay ji, we will start immediately. So, first and foremost question is that the idea of filmmaking, feature filmmaking has finally graduated to a much bigger project of making web series. That is what we heard last. So, please throw some light on this transition.
Okay, so yes, we have made two feature films, Graha Lakshmi, The Awakening, and Mahalakshmi Path-The Evolution. And we have done, as you all can see, a fairly well in the field of cinematic showing across the world. And many people have come to know more about Sahaj Yoga through both these films. They have joined Sahaj Yoga, they have started meditation. And this is the very purpose of what Shri Mataji wanted, that this medium should be used cinematically to spread her love, her message of Sahaj Yoga. So with the conclusion of the second film, with about 132 plus awards, we'll talk about that later. But it so happened that I had a visit with my elder brother Yogi Mahajan in his house to celebrate our 108th award, and there he had a vision, he had a dream where Shri Mataji said to convey it to me that I should continue the good work. She's very happy with it, and that we should come up with some sort of a television or a web series to talk about her life and the value of Sahaj Yoga that she has brought to the world, and its impact and how everybody can gain so much from it. So then this could become a tool to spread Sahaj Yoga at a permanent level on a larger platform such as the OTT or the television or any other platform which now AI can create for us, and we can reach out en masse. So as you know, this thought came, I guess Shri Mataji comes to us to tell us what we need to do through our dreams, through our meditation, and it's up to us to take that forward. So I took this initiative of working on that project for the last 6 months. We are trying to figure out how we could do that. But after praying to Shri Mataji, a very beautiful team got formed, and we were able to commence working on this web series, which is called The Era of Transformation in English and Yug Parivartan in Hindi. That's how we got to the idea, and we are still working on it. It's in process project.
Yes, but see, what made you switch from writing, composing, and singing bhajans into filmmaking in the first place? And now, as you just said, you're planning for web series Yug Parivartan, Era of Transformation. So, how come this switch happened in your life?
I was driven initially when I came to Sahaj Yoga to perform my bhajans, to write and to compose by her grace. And she took the initiative of picking me as a singer, a writer, as a composer, and then she worked on me and my chakras, and she helped me to actually give it back to the people to whom she was addressing in public programs. I've had the fortune of traveling with her across the world, and while she was giving realization, I was writing, composing. Sometimes just a day before, we would have a chat as to what she wanted me to write about. And then we would have this bhajan ready in a day or so, and then it would be performed. And with her grace and her blessings and her vibrations, she was able to reach out to more people through the element of bhakti, through the singing part. So this started as early as 1986 and it continued till 2006. So good 20 years. I had the great fortune of composing, writing, and singing. And thereafter, very early, actually, much earlier in 2002, Shrimataji wanted me to said that you've done enough. I think you had written over 150 songs and became popular and in actually covering a large part of our chakras and our devotion to Shri Mataji in her various forms. And these bhajans became very popular, like, as Ganesh Stuti or Sitting in the Heart or Jago Kundalini Ma and several others that you all are enjoying today on YouTube, as well as in the films that had come later on. But this, she said that you have to move on, go beyond the writing of bhajans only and singing, but to get into the creative medium of cinema. So the first time I understood from her was that I should create a video of my songs. And in 2002, that was recorded, released in 2003 by her at the Balewadi Stadium in Pune at a puja. And she was very happy. But then she called me on stage and said, I didn't mean just a video recording. I meant the larger screen. So that's when I came to understand that she meant it was the cinema. And God knows, and Shri Mataji knows, I don't know cinema anything. I'm a chemical engineer. And but if I could write, compose, and sing songs as a chemical engineer, I guess with her grace and with her blessings, it would be possible even to do cinema. But the main thing, I understood from this was that it is her blessings and it is her will that actually you have to surrender to it. So if I was able to surrender to her will and not say that this is what I am doing, but that is what she is doing. So she said that you won't be doing anything, so don't worry. I'll be managing everything, but you have to totally surrender to me. And so once I surrendered to her, the switchover happened so fast, and everything started falling in place. I could find the right people, I could find the right writer, the director, the music composer, the right studio, the actors, all the players who come together in filmmaking suddenly easily appeared before me, and I just had to take this opportunity to put them all together, and we started getting into films. First film was Grah Lakshmi, The Awakening, which was done in 2018. And it took me a long time, in fact, almost 7, 8 years to figure this all out. But then she left me all in the open and she said, you have to grow within yourself and you'll know one day when you step into it. And that's how we formed Immaculate Ideal Human Foundation as an NGO where you people contributed and we could get on making the films. And that's how I actually moved from bhajan singing to films, but the mainstay was singing. So singing is part of me, which is in both the films, and I'm still writing songs and composing them.
Okay, now we come to the third question. Sanjay ji, you have nursed and nurtured the NGO Immaculate Ideal Human Foundation since 2017. And now, while we are entering the 10th year of its existence, you have decided to let it go. Why is that?
Well, Aparna, I feel when we grow, we graduate into a higher state of meditation, especially in Sahaj Yoga, what is our growth is our meditation. So over the years, I have been constantly meditating and clearing my chakras, doing my foot soak, speaking to mother in front of her. You can talk to her and then taking answers from her. And initially, this NGO was formed because I felt that we need collective support for people to come together and fulfill her vision of the cinema. So people came together. This happened beautifully. And first film got one award. We were encouraged. We did the second film. We got a much more greater vision of artists with bigger vision and better skills. We were tied up with the Institute of Mr. Subhash Ghai, which runs the cinema across India. That Whistling Woods International, they're great creative people working there as their staff, as their curators, and they helped me put together this beautiful film called Mahalakshmi Path-The Evolution. In a similar way as we prayed to Shri Mataji, the shooting went off according to her will, and nothing fell short of anything. And some great Saj Yogis across the world came forward, and they gave us funds. But eventually, what I feel is when you graduate into growth, we found that the blessings were being showered on us through all these awards, and that we had achieved our purpose of reaching out her message to the world through the use of cinema. And therefore, I felt that this is a non-profit NGO, so we were not making any money out of this. If there were at all some money was being sought, was only to recover our costs or pay the artists or look after our expenses that were very huge in cinemas. As you know, as you make cinema, there is a lot of cost involved. But we realized that we have to reach out. Actually, we got something, we got awards, we got recognition. Saj Yogi's seen it, many people seen it, but its mass value has not yet been captured. I mean, it can still reach out. I feel we may not even reached out to 2% of the population of the world. And I realize that this cannot be done through the confines of a non-profit NGO. We have to think further ahead. It needs marketing, it needs an expertise. We have to bring in more professionals. They are going to charge money. This is going to become commercial in some form, that we have to make this absolutely out of the world, something very magnificent, something very bright. Because after all, we're talking of the Adi Shakti Shri Mataji. We are not going to just do a small documentary here and there. So therefore, we had to think about, when we sat down with the idea of creating a web series, the first thing came to my mind was that we need to form a professional production house instead of running an NGO, because the NGO limits you down, and the governments are not encouraging most of the NGOs to function in the manner that they would like to expand or they would like to reach out. So in order to reach out to a bigger audience, to a much wider audience worldwide, it was better to expand without the boundaries of the NGO. So we decided that we will pass on this NGO to those who want to do social work in the world, in this field, because NGOs are meant for social work in the language of the man, of the normal man, but in the language of a enlightened soul, an awakened soul, like a Sahaj Yogi, or people who seek their change and transformation in life. We would have to go much further ahead beyond the NGO. So therefore, I decided that we let go this responsibility and focus my energy more on creating this new web series, the content for the web series. And by the grace of Shri Mataji, some of the people who worked with me for these last 7-8 years, they, according to their own connections and people they knew in the creative world across the world, they were able to form an organization, a production house. I encouraged them. I became their mentor, an advisor to them. And in Verge, I think the Inner Verge, I think it's called Inner Verge, is what has come out of it. And now it is important that a production house of that nature must make its own presentation, its own budget, and it should ask for funds in a bit of a commercial sense. But we need to push this again through the same system as we did it through our NGO. So I was able to get together a few Saj Yogis from across the world, and I think they have formed another non-profit in their country. I'm not going to talk about it right now because it's still in the formative stage, a much formative stage, where they think that across the world they'll be able to collect a lot of funds and act as the producer. And the production house could act as the one who actually makes the. So if I could put this whole thing together, I think it's a great graduation out from the boundaries of a small NGO into a much larger platform across the world and involving, I think, creative artists across the world for such a massive project as as Mother's Life and Transformation that we want to show in this web series.
Okay, on to the fourth question, Sanjay ji. Like you came to Sahaj Yoga when you were in your 20s, about 27 years old. So today you are 71, you're 70 plus. So what drives you in this spiritual journey besides being a creative artist? What else? It's just you went on and on and on with it. How
Yeah,
come?
you see, Parna, the greatest blessing in my life when I came to Sahaj Yoga at the age of 27 was that Shri Mataji immediately saw something in me and she picked me within 1 or 2 years of my joining that she wanted me to sing and she wanted me to write and compose. And my journey started very early, since 1986. She would call me, I would be with her. I had actually forgotten completely that I had a family, I had parents. I was totally engrossed being listening to what she was saying to me. And I felt that was the purpose of life. I mean, she was the light of my life. I mean, the minute I got entangled in her, a beautiful love quotient, I was just enjoying the bliss of her presence and her guidance. And I also saw that she was working on my chakras physically with her hand, putting on my chakras, one thing, and then I would be sitting in front of her and she would be clearing me out. And then at times she would be saying, "You're going to create things people are going to remember even 100 years thereafter. And you don't know what I am going to make you into." So I'm totally in the making of Sri Mataji. And but I feel in these 40, 41 years that have gone by, I never gave up the basic tenets of Sahaj Yoga, which is humility, which is simplicity, which is being thinking for the betterment of everybody. For the benevolence of the world. Always focusing on clearing your chakras, having a good personality, dealing well with people, not fighting with anybody, and having a balanced personality so that people could look at you and come to Sahaj Yoga. And then it came the point where Shimadaji actually wanted me to make films. She probably felt that I could give that in my films, what people could remember for a long time in their lives, to have that transformation, the kind of transformation that I went through. So this sort of growth of meditation through meditation took me to that point in these years. Today what I feel totally relaxed. I feel I'm totally fulfilled. I have no quests for my personal self, but I have the prayers for the world. I want to think good for the world. I want to bless everybody. I want everybody to be happy, healthy, and mentally, physically, in every way. And that is the attitude I keep in my heart. The more I meditate, the more this grows more and more stronger within me. And then I sometimes feel, when Shimataji used to tell me that, you will rise from a state of thoughtless awareness to doubtless awareness. And the minute you get into doubtless awareness and you grow in your meditation, you will be surprised how all of a sudden there would be a huge personality change, and your attention would become so powerful that you could work on your attention and fulfill all your desires. So we learnt only pure desires from mother. So we wish not to go after the impure desires, not the worldly possessions or the worldly way of enjoying life, but the spiritual way of enjoying your own spirit. The love of Sri Mataji in your heart, it always has grown and grown and grown. For me today at 71, I feel 100% blessed. And maybe if Mother gives me a longer life and fills me with blessings, I'll be able to put together a very, very beautiful team across the world to serve her purpose of spreading Sahaj Yoga across the world through our creative medium, which is what she wanted.
Okay, Sanjay ji, you have more or less covered a lot. Any last words? I mean, of this particular episode, anything that you would like to tell our listeners about your journey in Sahaj Yoga, about even how they can continue? What should be the like the motivation? Any kind of a motivation that you have for them to carry on
Yeah,
with
I
the
would
spiritual? life?
Thank you. The way I have managed to see my life unfold, I suggest you always be on the lookout of self-correction. See, it is easy to blame the other, but all the time we as human beings are not divine. Shimataji is divine. So we have to search that divinity within. She has given us through her Kundalini. We need to meditate regularly. We need to check on our own personality. How are we faring? Am I still an angry man? Am I still running after a lust or greed or money or power? Am I being hard on people? Am I sweet to people? So these are questions you must keep asking yourself. And I would say the more you ask these questions, the more your spirit becomes the witness. So you just witness yourself in the light of the spirit of your meditation. You will see that the huge transformation will start happening within you. You will be a transformed person. All the wrong things that you can see for yourself, they'll start disappearing. And then what happens is a huge amount of strength comes your way, and with that strength, you can propel your attention and you can help others. You can help the whole world. The world is at war, as you can see, but you can sit and meditate and you literally can have the controls in your hand. But if you are all connected together as a collective force across the world, and we build that kind of a chain of a very enlightened attention, I think we can work out wonders. We can work out miracles. I can see a lot of miracles happening in my personal life on a day to day basis, and I'm sure you can also. Many of us are going through this. Let's all join hands. Let's not fight with each other. Let's not try to suppress each other. Let's not try to rule each other, because we are our own gurus, we are our own masters. So I would like just to say, please stay happy, contented, and give happiness to as many people as you can. And you will stay blessed both mentally and physically. That is a promise, I tell you, Sahaj Yoga or Shrimataji has given to every Sahaj Yogi in this world. With these words, I thank you all for listening to today's talk, and I hope that whatever comes forth in the next announcement of our web series, as well as if we need your help in terms of funding it or in terms of praying to Shri Mataji or giving your best wishes, I will come forth. We are coming up with a name of another entity called Immaculate Ideal Creative Arts Foundation, which is coming up very soon, which will fund this particular project of Inner Verge. And if this all comes together, it is too early to say right now, by her grace and with your prayers and your blessings, that I'm sure we will be going into the next level of creative filmmaking of the web series called The Era of Transformation. Thank you very much. God bless you. And Jai Shri Mataji. And thank you, Aparna, for putting forth these questions before me.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, Sanjay ji. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.